What's going on? What's going on? It's your man Diamond K in here, of course, the Diamond K Show on firebroadcasting.com, the Diamond K Show.com. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. Hope that everybody is having a great day. Big news day. A lot of things that I want to discuss, and we are going to unpack all of these topics and so much more. Of course, you need to get in touch with me on all social media. I am at the Diamond K Show and DJ Diamond K at gmail.com, youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. So there has been so much talk about this shooter with regards to the CEO, the healthcare CEO, and we're going to talk about it. Of course, there are murders every day. There are crimes every day. And sadly, it's these high-profile ones that get the most exposure, that get the most, just discussion. But this is no way to minimize the amount of serious situations that happen across the country. And so I definitely wanted to put that out there. We're not minimizing by just focusing on the healthcare, United Healthcare, or former CEO now. His private ceremony was funeral, homegoing service was yesterday. And so let's do this. Let's talk about it. So bail for Luigi Mangione has been denied. The gun found on the suspect matches shell casings at the crime scene, according to police. The United Healthcare CEO shooter, the suspect, is fighting extradition to New York. Now, in New York, he faces a second-degree murder charge in connection to Brian Thompson's death. Shout out to TikTok. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me good. Instagram as well, and on YouTube and Facebook. If you can hear me good, thumbs up is appreciated. So this gun that was seized during the suspect's arrests in Pennsylvania matched the shell casings, according to the police. Fingerprints taken from Luigi also match the prints on a water bottle and a protein bar wrapper found near the scene in Midtown Manhattan. The NYP Commissioner Jessica Tisch announced at a press conference today. So they have these two items, and they're using that. They're saying that your fingerprints here, and you did this, or at least they think that he did it. Now, these lab results mark the first forensic tie between Mangione and the crime scene. So, aside from the fact that this was the former CEO of a major company, aside from that, the police and the prosecutors want to make sure that citizens know this is not the steps that you take if you are unhappy with something. That is a big reason why they're going to try to throw the book at this guy. They're going to try to nail him with everything. Now, the discoveries come one day after Mangone's attorney, Thomas Dickey, told reporters that he hasn't seen any evidence that he's the shooter. Now, of course, his attorney is going to say that. What else is his attorney going to say? What else is his attorney going to say? Now, the defendant's attorney is not going to say, "Oh yeah, he did it." They are trying to, I guess, present a argument that this is circumstantial evidence. His client is facing extradition, and there was a whole debacle when he was going into court yesterday. That Pennsylvania hearing after the New York prosecutors charged him with second-degree murder in connection with last week's brazen killing is expected. I would say it's expected, but it's completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people and their lived experience, Mangione yelled as he was escorted in handcuffs into the Blair County Courthouse. This is going to be entertaining. This is going to be entertaining. The 26-year-old was denied bail and will remain in Pennsylvania while he fights the extradition to New York. Authorities are also investigating his notebook that laid out his plot to quote unquote whack Thompson at his parasitic bean counter convention. This reporting according to the New York Times. So I don't know how and why he's trying to act like he didn't have nothing to do with it. They found a notebook. They found his fingerprints. They found a murder weapon on this person, which the forensic, the shell casings match. Him trying to act like it isn't him. I mean, I suppose anybody that's going to go to the extent, waiting outside all this time, doing the things that he did, preparing and executing this CEO, something is going on. Something is not mentally right. Now, the healthcare system is in many instances a disgrace. In many instances, there's room for improvement, no doubt, and we need to get that done. But this is not the way to do it. This is not the way to do it. Hopefully, folks are realizing that this is not the way. This is not the way to get things changed, and not in the long term. This is not the way to get things changed. But still, a lot of folks online that are, just celebrating the death of this CEO. Let me say it that way. A lot of folks online doing that, and that, come on, that's not cool. That is not cool. So the gun found on the suspect, shell casings match what was found at the crime scene. How can he account for that? 26-year-old charged with murder. Authorities say they have the writings that are hinting at hatred of corporate greed. This is going to be used as the building blocks for a motive. This is a spiral notebook that Mangione kept, along with a 3-page handwritten letter. Some people are calling it a manifesto. It's found when he was arrested. Law enforcement officials have not disclosed everything that was in the notebook, but I'm sure that that's going to come out. That's going to be evidence. What's going on, Bree? And, the motive might have been related to an accident that sent Mangione to an emergency room in July of last year. They're talking about this surgery that he had. So the prosecutors are teasing the possibility that clues to the attack are in this notebook. Now, the only thing when law enforcement, prosecutors are not totally transparent with the public, they begin to wonder about things. They begin to wonder why you're not sharing things. They can't share every little detail because this is going to be part of the case that they're going to lay out against the defendant. So there was a law enforcement bulletin that was obtained by the Associated Press earlier this week, which said that the letter expressed anger with what Mangione called parasitic, right? Like a parasite. The health insurance companies are parasites, is what the letters expressed. And I don't think just saying that alone doesn't mean that you are a killer, right? A lot of people probably feel like that. A lot of people feel that the health insurance industry is a parasite or some type of a bug or some type of a leech. A lot of people feel like that. But the letters expressed a disdain for corporate greed and power, which is interesting considering the family that he comes from and whether they were estranged or not. He went to prep school, an Ivy League graduate, but he is mad at greed and power. And maybe this was reflected in his own family. That's possible as well. That is possible. The U.S. has the most expensive healthcare system in the world, and that profits of major corporations continue to rise while life expectancy does not. That is true. And one of the reasons why he's getting so much support online is that a lot of the things that he's saying, a lot of the things that the suspect is upset about are true. They are facts. But how do we handle these facts? How do we go about addressing these things? Now that's the question, right? It is not through violence. It is not through violence that we address these things. In his first public words since his arrest, Mangione emerged from a patrol car yesterday shouting about an insult to the intelligence of the American people. He's laying the groundwork for I'm a patsy, I'm being set up, all of these things. But at the same time, he's going to outline some of the very motivation things that are going to be used as motivation for the assassination of this CEO. So on one hand, I think that he's fueling conspiracy theories. But on the other hand, he's going to give the prosecutors what they want by some of the things that he's also saying. And the deputies pushed him into the courthouse. He remained in jail without bail. He was initially charged with gun and forgery offenses. So, ironically, why did he still have the ID on him that he used to check into the hostel? When he does things like this, it makes me think maybe this guy's not that smart. Maybe he's not as smart as we thought he was, right? Book smart he could be. But why did he still have the weapon? He had plenty of time to get rid of the weapon. So is it that he did not want to get away? Is it that he was arrogant and thought he had gotten away? I mean, if you're going to do a crime, at least, I mean, he got out of New York City. And I don't know whether that was because of the incompetence of the New York City Police Department. Sorry about that, guys and girls, but he did get out of town. And the only reason that y'all caught him was because of a McWorker in Pennsylvania. Because if it's not for the McWorkers in Pennsylvania, I don't think you catch him. I don't think you catch him. No one came forward from his family, from his past to say, oh, I know who that is. I know him, nothing. He was able to get several states away. So he was being arrogant. And it was the incompetence of the police. But now the police going to try to roll out like, oh, we did this. We got to think, literally the McWorkers handed you the suspect on a silver platter. On a silver platter. How much police work was done? Now, of course, that you've caught him. Now, of course, that you caught him. Now they acting like they did all this work. Midlife Bro Logic on YouTube says maybe he wants to get caught. If he wants to get caught, he doesn't want to get extradited to New York. He's kicking and screaming about that. Maybe he wanted to get caught someplace, but not held for the murder. I don't know. If he wanted to get caught, he would just say, yeah, I'll take me wherever you're going to take me, right? No, I don't know if he wanted to get caught or not. I think that he was arrogant. He thought that he was the smartest person in the room because he's the valedictorian. He thought all that kind of stuff. It happens. It happens. Folks think that. Just tuning in, you may Diamond K in here. We are talking about this suspect, Mangione, and now he is singing a different tune. Manhattan prosecutors were working to bring Mangione to New York after a brief hearing yesterday in Pennsylvania. His defense attorney, Thomas Dickey, said that Mangione will not waive extradition and instead wants a hearing on the issue. You can't rush to judgment in this case or any case, Dickey said afterward. He's presumed innocent. Let's not forget that. That is true. That is true. Now, he's doing what a defense attorney is supposed to do. The defense attorney is supposed to raise doubt. The defense attorney is supposed to uh, uh, vigorously defend their client. Mangione was arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania, which is about 230 miles west of New York City. Now, so you have that going on. New York police officers have said that Mangione was carrying a gun like the one used to kill Thompson and the same fake ID the suspected shooter used to check into a New York hostel, along with a passport and other fake IDs. That's what they're saying. They're laying out the case that they're going to present. This is the case they're going to present. Thompson, who was killed, the former CEO, 50 years old, killed on December 4th as he walked alone to a Manhattan hotel for an investor conference. From surveillance video, New York investigators determined the shooter quickly fled the city, likely by bus. All right. They put a lot of photos out there, still shots, the video of the crime. His movements afterwards are unclear. Authorities believe he took steps to stay off the radar. He clearly did stay off the radar because police didn't catch him. Police don't solve a lot of crimes. Snitches or informants, cooperation from citizens, that's what solves crimes. That's what solves crimes. Usually. Most times, right? Most times. Now, Mangione, a grandson of a well-known Maryland real estate developer and philanthropist, had a graduate degree in computer science and worked for a time at a car buying website. During the first half of 2022, he bunked at a co-living space in Hawaii, where those who knew him said that he suffered from severe and sometimes debilitating back pain. So there are many reports that he was estranged from his family. Relatives said in a statement that they are all shocked and devastated at his arrest. This is going to be an interesting story as we watch this unfold. And it's going to continue to unfold. I'm going to tell you this. When this gentleman is on trial, this is going to be a circus. This is going to be a circus. And not like the Universe Soul Circus, more like the Ringling Brothers Circus. But it's going to be a circus nonetheless. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, Threads, Blue Sky, at The Diamond K Show. Make sure you're subscribed on youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. You need to get in touch with me, djdiamondk@gmail.com. Make sure you support the program on Cash App, $ The Diamond K Show, on PayPal. We are Radio on Fire. So I also, before we get to this next story, holiday season is upon us. High Roller Records presents Club Music Christmas Part 2. There's also Part 1. So the second chapter in this Club Music Christmas series by yours truly, Diamond K, is available everywhere. Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, Tidal, wherever you get your music, just search Club Music Christmas Part 2. By yours truly, Diamond K. Really appreciate that. Check that out. So we have other things going on as we continue to inch closer and closer to the re-inauguration of Donald Trump. He is rolling out his terrible, unqualified picks. And one pick that we've been talking about, Pete Hegseth. He has returned to Capitol Hill trying to build support for his controversial Senate hearing that is coming up. The MAGA folks, Donald Trump want him to be the defense secretary, the same job that Lloyd Austin has right now. Oh my God. How is that? How is that? Trump's nominee, Hegseth, who is a media host like myself, so maybe I could be the defense secretary too? Oh, wait, no, because I don't have the allegations that this guy has. I don't have a drinking problem, right? Never drank. But the Trump nominee, Pete Hegseth, 44 years old, vows that he will not drink a drop of alcohol if he gets confirmed as defense secretary. Oh, well, that's reassuring. That's reassuring. So he is up at Capitol Hill trying to hobnob, trying to build support for his nomination process among Senate Republicans. He has faced allegations of sexual misconduct, all right? Not somebody that we want in this. Financial mismanagement of veterans charities. And these are small charities. And the job that he's trying to get would have him overseeing a lot of folks. And his management skills are definitely in question. His excessive drinking in question. Hegseth met with at least 2 Republican senators on Monday who had expressed concerns about the allegations, and I'm sure that they still have these concerns. But then on the other hand, they're scared of upsetting Donald Trump. There's such a big difference between Democrats and Republicans, and we're going to continue to talk about that. In statements after the meetings, the senators appeared to be more comfortable with Trump's pick. But who knows how it's going to go? Who knows how it's going to go? The accusations being made regarding financial mismanagement of veteran service organizations and his personal misconduct should absolutely categorically be considered by the committee. But if you remember, there have been other folks that have sat in front of Congress with accusations of drinking, accusations of sexual misconduct, and they just pushed them through, like Kavanaugh just pushed them through. So I think that it is very possible that this guy ends up getting a job that he does not deserve, is not qualified for under no circumstances. Now, Hegseth has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, but the CEO shooting suspect, he denies wrongdoing. Everybody denies wrongdoing. I'm sure Donald Trump, when he cheated on his wives, he denied it. Right? That's what folks do. They deny when they get caught. Now, amid the reports on this alleged conduct, several Republican senators said that they found the allegations disturbing, but that's not going to stop them from pushing them through. It's not, because they're part of a cult, the MAGA cult. So they're just going to continue to push them through. It's disgusting. It is disgusting, but that's what happens. The Republicans are wrong. Democrats are weak. That's it. I mean, that's what it is. The reason why we're in this situation is partially because of the big tent of Democrats. Part of the big tent, meaning there's a lot of people pulling in a lot of different directions. The Republicans have more focus than the Democrats do. Democrats say, you're a Democrat, but you're not Democratic enough, right? You're not enough on the left. So I'm not going to support you because you're not left enough. The Republicans, they just kind of, it is what it is, and they just move forward because they can see the goal. Democrats, if they're not totally aligned, we just have a problem with moving forward. It's a lot of infighting right now. A lot of infighting. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to continue to talk about it. So this controversial Senate hearing, it is coming up, and a lot of these nominees are just bad choices. Let me put it that way. Bad choices. Bad for the country, bad for the party. Now, if the nation can survive the 2 years until the next election, then we're going to be good. But, we got to survive the 2 years, these first 2 years, in a 4-year term of president. He's got 2 years where he can get stuff done, and then a lot of folks in Congress that he needs to help push things through are going to be preparing for election. So they can only do but so much. But Trump has a tendency of threatening the politicians with a primary opponent. So you're going to have that. Trump's starting as a lame duck, meaning he's not going to have a term after this. So the beginning, it's like a car. When you take it off the lot, the depreciation starts immediately, right? And that's what's going to happen. So Trump is a figurehead currently, a figurehead. They're using him to get the agenda done, and then they're going to put somebody else in place. Is it going to be Vance? Who knows? More than likely. That's what makes sense. But we're going to continue to see that. Pete Hegseth, do you think that he is going to be successful in becoming defense secretary? Do you think he is not worthy? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear that. Let me know. On all social media, I'm at The Diamond K Show. Of course, youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. Make sure you're subscribed. You can always shoot me an email, djdiamondk@gmail.com. Of course, you can support the program on Cash App. That is $ The Diamond K Show. And on PayPal, Radio on Fire. So, I don't know. I never was a Joe Biden fan. So you go back to 2019, I was saying I didn't want him to be the nominee. And as he continued through the primary process onto the general election, then we had no choice, right? He was the pick. But Joe Biden is an attorney. He's an attorney. However, he makes a lot of mistakes, a lot of big mistakes. And some people are going to say it's because of his age, but he was making mistakes when he was younger. He was making mistakes, a lot of them, when he was younger. Did a lot of things that I don't agree with. And on this home stretch, as a lame duck himself, even before he was a lame duck, he's been handling things wrong. Now, when he does things that are right, I will say that. When he does things that are wrong, I will say that too. And one of the many things that he did wrong is he said initially that he was going to be a one-term president. He's just a transitional president. He was a transitional figure, but he moved different than that, right? Meaning that his folks, now I'm talking years ago, his folks tore down and made Kamala Harris look bad way before the election, way before. And when he was saying that he was going to be transitional, his team, of course, did not want to give up power. His wife didn't want to give up power. So they knew the condition that Biden was in, but they thought that they could prop him up and push him through the finish line. And maybe they would have been able to get away with that, except for the fact that Biden was like, he's not Weekend at Bernie's, but he's like the prequel for Weekend at Bernie's. If any of you saw the movie, look it up. Weekend at Bernie's. The guy is dead. And the actors in the movie prop him up and take him around. And he even had a sequel. Right? Interesting. But Biden, not Weekend at Bernie's, but definitely Weekend at Bernie's adjacent. He's like the prequel. Anyway, he said that he was going to only be a one-term president, but of course, he changed his mind and decided to run. He shouldn't have run. We would have had a better chance if he had not run. But he ran. And it was a lousy campaign. Lousy campaign. And he is forced, after being exposed, to bow out and let Kamala Harris, the vice president, run. Now, this is after his team and the president made no effort to prepare Kamala Harris and make her look good. They did everything to minimize her. And then now they turn to her as the hope for the party. Right? Now, during the process, Biden says, I'm not going to pardon my son, which I thought was a stupid thing to say. Why would he say that? What he should have said, and this is supposed to be a capable attorney, but I'm sure he hasn't practiced in many years. But I keep saying that the attorney part, because they're supposed to know how to use their words. They're supposed to know how to use the English language and use the words meanings to talk slick. Biden can't talk slick. I don't know how Biden passed the bar, honestly. I don't know, because he says, I'm not going to pardon my son. He said that because he's worried about what Democrats are going to think, how this looks. I must look a certain way, blah, 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 blah. Then to turn around and pardon him, fine. What he should have said in the beginning is, all options are on the table. I'm going to watch and see how this thing unfolds, or I'm not going to talk about a pending investigation. Or he should have said something other than, I'm not going to pardon the son, because now he looks like an idiot, right? And that's the thing. And even if you look like an idiot, even then, and you don't even have to be an attorney to understand this. So now we fast forward. He thinks that Kamala's going to win. He thinks Kamala's going to pardon him, and he's not going to have to worry about it. But then Trump wins. So now he's nervous. And then in addition to that, Trump is nominating people that are going to really give Hunter Biden trouble. And they've said it. They've written it down. They've tweeted it. They've posted it. They've said it. The people that Trump is trying to put in office will give Hunter Biden trouble. So now, Jill, who's really the brains of the operation, his wife, she's nervous. So over the Thanksgiving weekend, they decide that Thanksgiving holiday, they decide that they're going to do the pardon. And they prop Joe up and say, go pardon Hunter, right? So then he comes out and he gives this whack statement. Supposed to be an attorney, supposed to be smart, but he gives this whack statement about how the justice system, improperly targeted his son who pled guilty, blah, 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 blah. The statement was wrong. Trump's attorneys have used Biden's actual statement in defense of why one of his cases needs to be thrown out, because, President Biden said that the Justice Department, his Justice Department, unfairly targets and prosecutes people, and that's why he pardoned his son. So he's trying to use that as a reason why his case should be thrown out. Again, Biden's words coming back to haunt him because he doesn't know how to say things. Biden should have just said, look, I don't like the people that Trump is talking about nominating. They've talked about coming after my son. I'm not having that, and I'm pardoning my son. Something along those lines, right? Not the foolishness that he said. And then, once again, let's flip it. Let's say that Donald Trump was pardoning his son. The Republicans would be all on board with it. You would not have Republicans saying, oh, Trump shouldn't have did this or Trump shouldn't have did that. They would all lined up. Democrats, on the other hand, they'll say, oh, I don't think he should have pardoned him. I understand why he did, but I hate it. Like, they're still tied into this rule of law stuff that the Republicans are not playing by those same rules. And that's why I say that Democrats are weak and Republicans are wrong, because it's just like you see that they're not using the fairness. You see it. And Democrats are still trying to. There's a way, of course, Michelle Obama, I love Michelle Obama. She said, when they go low, we go high. That doesn't apply. That does not apply anymore. And we need to, as Democrats, as people on the left, stop trying to use that mentality. There's still secretly people trying to say, well, the Republicans are doing this and we can't stoop to that level. That's why you lose. That's why you lose, because you are bringing a pen to a gunfight, like an ink pen, right? It's that bad, right? And so you've got to do better. You got to do better. So anyway, he's pardoned his son. And he's just not like staying on. I pardon him. What? You know what I mean? But he should have done some other things. And he just does not know how to read the room. Joe Biden can't read the room. So you have folks on the left who are saying, you said you weren't going to do it, like trying to hold somebody to their word. All the lies that Trump has told, all the things that Trump said he was going to do that he ended up doing, nobody's holding him to account. They're saying Joe Biden, he lied, right? All of the lies that Donald Trump has told. or whatever. That's for a whole nother day. And so here we are. So with that being said, we are at a point where Joe Biden is on his way out the door. Joe Biden is what I call a lame duck. That's what he is, lame duck. But the lame duck is doing some things that are good. And federal prosecutor Tiffany Johnson is the 5th federal judge in Georgia appointed by Joe Biden. And so he's doing these symbolic things. Now, they're not just, small things. These are major things that are being done. And I commend him for that. The Atlanta-based federal prosecutor, Tiffany Johnson, is the 5th federal judge in Georgia appointed by Biden. The U.S. Senate confirmed her nomination on Monday. Johnson is 37 years old. She will replace U.S. District Judge Steve Jones in the Northern District of Georgia. This has jurisdiction over federal cases in 46 counties. So this is she's a big deal. She's going to be a big deal. It's one of 3 federal trial courts in Georgia and has courthouses in Atlanta, Rome, Noonan, and Gainesville, Georgia. So that is that is big, and I am excited about that part. That's one of the things. So we were tearing down Joe Biden before this, and this is one of the good things that Biden did. One of the good things. And I'm gonna say one of the rare good things, because he will screw. Joe Biden will screw up a wet dream. He will screw up anything. But Tiffany Johnson has been confirmed to the Northern District of Georgia. Happy to hear that. And Ms. Johnson's experience in federal court and a career in public service have prepared her well to be a federal judge. She is the latest highly qualified, diverse, oh yes, Republicans hate that word, diverse nominee to be confirmed by Senate Democrats. So he's going to do a lot of things. Maybe not a lot. He's going to do a couple more things. Now, Judge Johnson is only the 3rd Black woman to serve a lifetime appointment on the court. Johnson's confirmation also ties the record for the most Black lifetime judges, 62. Confirmed during a presidency. During his first term, President Trump appointed 2 Black women out of 234 judges to the federal bench. In case you're doing the numbers, it is less than 1% of his appointments. Trump nominated no Black judges to federal circuit courts. But no, I mean, there's no surprise there, right? No surprise there. But yeah, so Joe Biden did that. Congratulations to Tiffany Renee Johnson, confirmed to the bench. Let me know your thoughts, of course, in the comments section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok at The Diamond K Show. Of course, youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. Make sure you are subscribed. You need to shoot me an email, djdiamondk@gmail.com. Of course, you can support the show via Cash App. That is $ The Diamond K Show, and paypal.me/radio on fire. So, a lot of things, a lot of interesting things going on out there. Gas prices continue to fall. Happy about that. Don't worry, Donald Trump's going to try to take credit for everything that is happening before he is president. He's going to try to take credit for that. Definitely shout out to folks on Instagram. Shout out to the folks here on TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook, and Twitch, and LinkedIn, and X. Shout out to all you good folks. Floyd Mayweather attacked by an angry, what they say, an anti-Israel mob while he was shopping in London, allegedly referring to him as the N-word after he expressed his support for Israel, is what is being said. Floyd Mayweather pushed back, said that he was not touched. They were just, talking smack, and he's good. So he didn't want folks to think that he was hurt. He released a brief statement. Floyd Mayweather, he said, "Let me set the record straight. There's no truth to the rumors going around. I wasn't punched or touched in any way. What you're seeing is just," and this is from the video, "what you're seeing is just my security doing their job to keep things under control. I was in the UK for a quick 48-hour stop to do some shopping, and unfortunately, people let jealousy and negativity fuel false stories. I'm perfectly fine, and there's really nothing more to it," the boxing great says. All right, so he wanted to set the record straight. Floyd Mayweather, that is, setting the record straight. Okay, all right, that's what's up. I mean, he's back. He's back in America now, so tough talk. He's back, and he is good. A Philly man that was once awarded $4 million for a wrongful conviction has been rearrested and returned to prison for a $1,200 drug debt murder. It's crazy, but this gentleman, Sean Thomas, who was released from prison and paid $4.1 million by the city of Philly after serving 24 years for a murder he says he didn't commit, pled guilty last week to killing a man over a $1,200 drug debt. Thomas, whose 1992 murder conviction was overturned in 2017, was convicted of third-degree murder and related crimes for fatally shooting 38-year-old Akeem Edwards last year. I mean, it is a sad situation. Often they will say when folks leave that they're going to return. And he was released in 2017, and he is back. Less than 10 years later, he is back in jail for a murder that he actually did commit. Sad situation there. Yeah, sad situation there. All right, so we're going to get out of here. Of course, I will be back here tomorrow, 6 p.m., and I believe we're going to have some guests. But I'll keep you posted. Of course, follow me on social media at The Diamond K Show. Shoot me an email, djdiamondk@gmail.com. Make sure you're subscribed, youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. Of course, you can support the show via Cash App, $ The Diamond K Show, paypal.me/radio on fire. All right. Thanks for listening, tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe at youtube.com/DJ Diamond K.